Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, my California friends and beyond. Welcome back to J is for Justice. I feel like I deserted all my fire people. I feel like I deserted y'all, and I apologize for that. I wore myself slap out. Here we are. I wore myself slap out, guys, so I'm sorry I had to take a breather. But welcome back, and I'm here. We have a new meeting starting this morning. It's called LA One Voice. I guess they're not doing all their press conferences separately. Hold on. Hold on, guys. It's still freezing here. Hey, Pandy. Hello, all my friends. Hello, all my friends. Okay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, we have this new meeting. It's called One Voice. So, not sure what that means, if that's how they're going to be doing things from now on or what. But good morning. Good morning. It is early out there. We do have a little bit of footage here from, let's see, ABC. This is from yesterday. This is some aftermath footage. And then I understand that everybody in California didn't get a breather. And I'm not trying to be insensitive at all. Good morning, September. Good morning, Kels and One-Eyed Flo. Thank you, One-Eyed Flo. Good morning, Cole. We missed you too. Evelyn. Hello, Melissa B. Pandy, my own personal producer. Thank you, Kels. Okay, so let's take a look at this footage from yesterday. And this is, wait, what's the name of this? Timeline, how they unfolded. So this is how it unfolded. Let's watch. Hold on.
Situated at the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains, the Palisades typically escape damage as Santa Ana winds blow past, since the winds will usually blow any fire up to the north. However, this time, hurricane-force winds drove the flames directly into the neighborhood, reducing many homes to ashes. On January 7th, around 10:20 a.m. local time, a live camera with Alert California, a UC San Diego program to monitor wildfires and disasters in real time, picks up smoke rising.
And those were the cameras we were following, y'all.
This is the first sighting of the Palisades Fire. 6 minutes later, Plane Spotter at LAX catches first plumes of smoke on its live stream.
Not what we want to see here in Southern California. Fire has now broke out.
At 10:58 a.m., resident David Hansen received a video from his mother showing thick orange smoke billowing outside her house on Piedra Morada Drive. The fire size was upgraded from 10 to 200 acres.
Good morning, everybody.
While containment remained at 0%.
We're in the Palisades Highlands and the fire road is literally on fire.
David Hansen drove to reach his mother and recorded the Palisades fire as it burned an entire hillside beside the road. From his mother's backyard, David filmed helicopters dropping water onto the nearby fires. He tells ABC News he saw them hovering over the edge of Santa Ynez Reservoir and were using a hose to draw up water. The fire spread rapidly, and flames encroached on David's mother's yard. Neighbors rallied together, using water from swimming pools to fight the advancing fire. With 2 more zones ordered to evacuate and 3 new evacuation warnings issued, David decided to drive out. But with high volumes of vehicles trying to evacuate, and with 3 road closures on the Pacific Coast Highway, escaping the flames proved to be difficult for residents. As David drives, he films the road filled with abandoned cars on Palisades
We sure
Drive.
did, Flo.
Firefighters are seen battling the flames. David and his mother make it out safe from the flames, and he tells ABC News that thanks to the effort of quick-thinking neighbors, David's mother's home has for now survived.
We're through the fire.
Evacuation shelters are placed around the city, and Governor Newsom declares a state of emergency in California.
Oh, my God.
By night, reports show that the Palisades fire has grown to 1,000.
Hold on. We need to go. Is that seriously the back of his head? What's on his head? Is it early or am I seeing things? And what's up with the governor's skinny jeans? How old is this guy? I can't stand him. I'm sorry, but what? It looks like he got dreads. Like what is that? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be petty, but what?
And he's standing there looking at these fires. That is a weird photo op.
Fire.
Good morning, Cynthia.
Evacuation shelters are placed around the city, and Governor Newsom declares a state of emergency in California. By night, reports show that the Palisades Fire has grown to 1,262 acres, and 2 additional fires occur nearby, Eaton Fire and Hearst Fire. Windy conditions complicated firefighting efforts.
We're getting a 70 knots wind speed. We're going to have to shut down water dropping operations. Also, cancel it 2 additional copters.
That's
January
sad.
8th,
Look at
12:29
that.
a.m. Palisades fire size has grown to 2,921 acres and is upgraded to 11,802 by 11:45 a.m.
Unfortunately, we have 2 reported fatalities to civilians, unknown cause at this time, and we do have a number of significant injuries.
Lydia Fire, north of the 3 active fires, starts
Casey
around 2:07
Major.
p.m. At 5:57 p.m., CAL FIRE reported that the Sunset Fire in the famed Hollywood Hills had started, bringing the total to 5 active fires in the state. The Palisades Fire remained the largest, reaching 17,234 acres by the end of the day, with 0% containment. Weather forecasts indicated another round of Santa Ana winds expected from January 9th to January 10th, with a new high-pressure system building from the north, fueling more gusty winds.
Okay, we're going to interrupt this presentation. We have our Palisades operational meeting. I'm just going to back it up, back it up because it just started. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Today is January 16th, 2025.
Had to do it.
Please silence your cell phones, turn down your radios. If you have side conversations, take them way out behind the briefing area. Current situation with night operations.
Hey, good morning, Jeremiah Whitwer, night operations. We'll start down here on
Morning
the bottom towards
report.
the ocean. Crews were able to utilize the USAR crews yesterday with systematical grid coming across, working their way down and kind of into the Palisades. So we'll continue those operations throughout the day. We also down over here towards the Santa Monica area, we started really working with the contingency groups, going out there, adding some additional fuel breaks and cleaning some of that area up for some anticipated winds coming up. Starting to add continual black line around the bottom, gaining that depth. We're 200 to 300 feet in across some of those areas. And in the top section, really securing in around that Montanito, coming into Topanga and getting some farther mop up. IR capability, aircraft was used last night, minimal hot spots. The crews are out there doing a lot of good work. The Mandeville Canyon area, we're still working in and just gaining additional depth and seeking out those hot spots.
Today's management objectives: fight fire aggressively while maintaining safe work practices to minimize threats to the public and emergency responders. All actions and efforts will focus on safeguarding the residents and resources of Los Angeles City and Los Angeles County.
Damn.
Minimize damage.
Guys, now they're showing the packet on the screen. All right, I'm calling Nick because we need our packets presented in this fashion from the green team. That's it. I'm calling Nick. I'm telling him we need our packets put up on a big screen so we can all see them. Calling Nick right now. But anyway, thank you so much, Flo, for donating 5 memberships. Welcome to the Clicker Crew, guys.
To structures, private and public property, and other improvements in the fire area. Ensure repopulation takes place in a quick, efficient, and effective manner.
I mean, do they really need these guys to read them? For fuck's sake, anybody can read this shit. Get out there and put the damn things out.
Protect natural, cultural, and heritage resources. Continue to foster and maintain positive relationships with all local cooperators and stakeholders. Ensure coordinated, timely, and accurate release of public information. Ensure costs are aligned with mission priorities. Today's control objectives: keep the fire north of Pacific Ocean, keep the fire south of US 101, keep the fire east of Malibu Canyon, keep the fire west of the Interstate 405, and weather with our incident meteorologist.
Grab that URL. Here's your daily weather
All
report.
right, good morning, everybody. Rich Thompson, incident meteorologist. Weather-wise for you today. We're getting back to kind of some normal mid-January conditions across this area. First of all, with winds, you're going to some light northeasterly winds this morning. And then by late morning, early afternoon, those southerly up canyon winds are going to start kicking in. You'll probably see gusts this afternoon. Generally anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour across most spots in the fire. There'll be some canyons that might be a little bit stronger onshore push, maybe guessing around 25 miles per hour this afternoon. But then once the sun sets, you expect your typical light northerly, down canyon, down valley sort of wind developing overnight tonight, nothing too strong. As for humidities, Right now, you're about 15 to 25%. Expect those to gradually increase through the day with that onshore push coming in. And then this evening and overnight tonight, recovery is going to be anywhere from 60 to 100%, so very good recoveries out there. One other thing to note, since the winds will be relatively calm tonight, obviously, you're going to be chillier temperatures out there, especially in those interior valleys on the north end of the fire. I can see even dipping down even to the lower 30s probably by tomorrow morning. It's pretty chilly out there for you, so heads up for that.
Fire behavior.
Good morning, James Magana, Fire Behavior Analyst.
They really get through
your fire
these
behavior
fast.
forecast can be found on page 4 in your IAP with the QR code to reference some materials that we'll be discussing here. The Predictive Services Office has issued a Fuels and Fire Behavior Advisory due to critical weather and fuel conditions for this predicted service area. For your fire behavior, you can expect to see moderated fire behavior primarily creeping and smoldering, with some areas of those heats continue to smolder and burn out. With changing in the winds and the lower elevations with those up Canyon pushes, you can see increased production of blow ash
love the weather guy,
nuisance
too.
smoke. For any new starts, spot fires, or slopovers, you can expect moderate to critical rates of spread with your spotting distances from 1/10 to half a mile, and your probability of ignition remains at 60 to 65%.
Why'd you freeze up,
Please
dude?
be aware for those resources working in suppression repair, have any unwanted ignition mitigation measures in place. And be alert for, like we discussed with IMET, of those up canyon, upslope winds coming from opposite directions in the afternoon. Have a safe shift.
Work assignments with operations.
Good morning, everybody. Christian Litz, operations here on the Palisades Fire. We're going to split the map between top side and bottom side. So top side of the map, we're looking at the left to right, Montanito, coming over to Fernwood, Topanga Oaks, Sylvia Parks, and coming around Dirt Mulholland into Mandeville Canyon. Have resources still. Secure those edges, improve where they can. We still have the IR flight and technology out there that help you pinpoint those isolated heat sources. Get out there for me. Mitigate those heat sources so we don't have any unwanted effects here on this fire. Also, along those structures that are along those edges, go ahead and continue to get in there, build defensive space. We know that there's winds coming, IMET said, so it's always good to prepare for the future, whether it's a new start or whether something happens on this fire. But you guys are doing a tremendous amount of work on this fire to keep it within the current footprint. Coming around the bottom side from the Mandeville, so going from right to left, looking at Mandeville Canyon, West Ridge into the Riviera area, coming on down to the Palisades, Temescal Canyon, into Las Flores, Big Rock, Malibu. Continue what you're doing. Get in there inside those structures. Concentrate on the ones standing. Make sure there's no heat around anything there. And again, use those IR flights if we have any and pinpoint those heat sources. Get in there. Also, infrastructure continues to build along the PCH, so support them and stay safe out there as you're traveling around the fire. USAR components are out there systematically gridding and searching in the area, so we'll support them as much as we can and get that thing done so that we're always public service number one. We want to get them back to their houses as soon as possible. Structure defense groups are still lined out around the fire. They're out there doing good work, building that defensible space as well, but always ready to respond to new fires or new starts. So I appreciate that work. And then contingency has shifted over to the fire suppression repair, so they're out there doing good work, bringing this back and trying to go back to the specs that have been lined out by the experts, the reads, to help us out with that. Today I'd like to go ahead and thank the ground support. Without our engines and our vehicles, we can't get out there to actually do the good work. We're public servants first, so we want to get out there and as much as possible, but we can't get there without the mechanics, so thank you, ground support. Everybody stay safe today.
Roll call with resources.
Good morning, Larry Passero, Palisades Resource Unit Leader. This is our branch and division roll call. On page 2, you'll see your 203. We're going to start with branch 1. Briefing at the Malibu ICP, Matos with Horton trainee. In Division Alpha, Tieso with Broussard trainee. Charlie is Weddle. And in Foxtrot, Delio. The Mandeville Structure Group, West with Mickelson trainee. Also at the Malibu ICP, Branch 5, Vias. In Division Juliet, Morris with Delgado trainee. And in Mike, Hildebrand with Altamirano trainee. USAR Group 1 is Malin USAR Group 2, Lewis. USAR Group 3, Pelk. Here with us from Branch 7, Wink with Smith. And in Division Papa, Fernston. In Tango, Finkenkeller with Jorgensen training. In uniform, Cazal with Dutton. In Victor, Spindler
Hey,
with
Prepper.
Busher trainee.
Hey, Jason.
In the Topanga Structure Group, Top. In Branch 10, we have Craig with LaMonica trainee. And in Yankee, Milnick. In Zulu, Scott with Lorenzo trainee. In the Encino Structure Group, Hostetter. Fire Suppression Repair Branch, Matthews with Ornelas trainee. Fire Suppression West, Peterson with Resendez trainee and Wimmer trainee. And in Fire Suppression Repair East, Didi
I love this.
with Totoshini. Thanks, have a good shift.
Air operations.
Here.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
Byron
Potato.
Dance, Air Operations for Team 2. We still have the 40 helicopters here to support you guys during the day and the 13 helicopters here to support you guys for night operations.
13
If you have any
helicopters.
requests for aircraft, place that through your line leadership back to Camarillo Helibase. We also have those 3 UAS modules here that can help provide those IR signatures out on the line. So if you have a request, work that through the same chain, please. And we have the 24-hour hoist here to support you guys out on the line. If you have a minute, take a look at your air operations map. You guys will see that down here in Division Papa, we've created a Zone 1. And then up here in Alpha, you've got a Zone 2 and 3. What those are, those UAS coordination zones. We're working on getting the media and some other requests in here and accommodated. So those zones probably will be active with UAS today. Thank you.
Medical.
Good morning, Fred D'Acquisto, Medical Unit Leader for the Palisades Incident. You can find your medical plan in today's
Hey,
IAP on
Robin.
page 41. Please review this with your crews all the way down to the lowest level. Please emphasize those same 2 boxes at the bottom half of the page, the procedural flow chart on the left and the information that we need to get you your resources on the right. If you have a medical emergency at the Malibu camp, we have set up Gold Coast Ambulance 695 at a location between supply and feeding. They're there for any in-camp medical emergency needs, so please locate them and make the proper notifications via command. Any other medical needs will still need to come up here to CalMat for minor medical stuff or for any supply, medical supply or those needs. We have CalMat in the same location on the sand across from feeding, and peer support is at the west end of the engine parking in the main camp here. If you need to see them, feel free to contact them. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, or if you need to report anything to my shop, please see me in Trailer Row or contact me at the number at the bottom of the medical plan. Thank you. Have a safe shift.
Communications.
Good morning, Susan Perez, Communications Unit Leader for the Palisades. Just a reminder, the only frequencies authorized to be used on this incident are those listed in the 205. Any use of unauthorized frequencies may not only interfere with the local law and fire enforcement agencies, but it's also punishable by the FCC. Radio techs are available in camp for cloning, repairs, and equipment checkout. And additionally, if you guys lost a radio, we had one turned into comms, so come and see us. Thank you.
Safety.
Good morning, James Allen, Palisade Incident Safety Officer. You'll find today's safety products on pages 5 and 6 of your IAP. Please use those products to ensure that everyone gets a briefing. We're going to support you on the line today with 9 safety officers. This morning I want to talk about 3 things, the first being driving. That's still one of the main hazards we have. As we continue to compress the amount of resources in and around the fire area, continue to drive defensively and be heads up. For those traffic signals that are out or flashing red, be extra cautious in those. Second thing I want to talk about is risk versus gain. Now that we're out of the emergent phase of this fire, all the important tasks you have to do today, I'd like you to assess the hazards before you engage, ensure that we aren't having injuries while we're completing those. Lastly, PPE. Please wear the appropriate PPE for the tasks you're doing. And if you guys haven't been into base camps yet to get those cleaned, please do that, as well as cleaning out your cabs. As always, be thoughtful, be smart, be safe.
Please see your finance message and an update from our information officer.
Hey, good morning. Thomas Schutz, public information for the Palisades Fire. If you turn to page 53, we've got some updated numbers for the fire. We can write in if you'd like. Fortunately, the fire has stayed in the same footprint. We got acreage 23,713 acres. This morning, we're at 22% containment, and total personnel on this fire is 5276, over 5,000 people out here assigned to this incident. The community continues to show their love and support, telling us how grateful they are. So I want to make sure I relay that to you guys. They really appreciate what you're doing. If you see the media out and about, know that they are allowed to be out in the fire areas. Please support them if possible. We have the...
Okay, that's messed up. The media can be in the fire areas still, but the residents can't?
media and public information lines on top. So if you need any help or need to refer anybody, and we are keeping everything up to date on our CAL FIRE website. So fire.ca.gov, you can go to the Palisades Fire, you can direct folks there, they click on it. It's a one-stop shop for everything. Tonight we have an in-person community meeting at 6:30 over at the Sinai Temple just west of...
A community meeting tonight at 6:30 in person. Do we want to watch this tonight? That would be 9:30 Eastern. In person, are they going to take questions or is it going to be a joke like the other ones?
Beverly Hills, so that's a good talking point.
Wait, where are they having
for
it?
everything. Tonight we have an in-person community meeting at 6:30 over at the Sinai Temple just west of Beverly Hills. So that's a good talking point for you guys too when you're out in the field. Refer people to that. They can join us in person or they can jump on virtually at 6:30. That information again is on our website. We are the mail stop and we are the lost and found. So for mail, we are starting to get packages. Some folks are hard to track down and we don't have a whole lot of time to go and find out where on the line you are and bring your stuff. So swing on by the PIO trailer. We're right across from that blue Cobalt trailer where the white trailer inside will get your mail. And we are the lost and found. So if you lost anything, found anything, or just want to go shopping, swing on by. Thanks.
I'd like to introduce Los Angeles Police Department Chaplain for a few words.
Good morning. I'm Chaplain Eprendato of LAPD, but I was once a fire department chaplain in New Jersey. Two things I'd like to share with you. Number one, life is a mystery. So what is happening right now will become a glory later on because we have faith. Second, police and fire work is a noble profession. I congratulate you. You're protecting people, so God is protecting you. Right. God bless you.
All right. Closing comments from our Unified Incident Commanders.
Good morning, Commander Randy Goddard, LAPD Palisades Fire Incident Commander. I just want to say on behalf of the Unified Incident Commanders, a big thank you. Like the PO said, on the law side, we get to go home at night. We get to see our families. I know all of you don't. So what the PI echoed, my family, my friends, our community, Angelinos, can't be more appreciative for all the work that you guys are doing out here every day. Hard work, we'll keep it up until we can get this back to where we need to be. Like I tell all my officers on a regular basis, this is the city of angels, the county of angels. All of you are the mortal angels. Without you, our communities can't be safe. So a big, big thank you for that. We'll keep it up. Be safe and God bless.
Mortal angels?
All right, when you look around the back of the briefing area, you'll find your branch and division breakouts. If you find yourself unassigned in the IAP, please come meet up here with the resource unit leaders. Cooperators meeting at 1000 hours here at the main stage. Planning meeting at 1700 hours here at the main stage. And next operational briefing right back here, 0700.
That's it. They really swing through those, don't they? Let's see what we got here. Palisades operation, we just watched that. This is what we're waiting for here. This is live in 30 minutes. LA County One Voice press conference. See that? See that? I feel like this is something new. Unless they did this yesterday. It says January 16th, 2025, LA County One Voice press conference. Life is a mystery. It sure is. It's a mystery if their home is even going to be there, but yet the media can tramps around in there, right? So we are waiting for this. This starts in, it says 29 minutes. I have no idea where they're holding it. I have no idea what it is. It just says LA County officials provide an update on the county's response to the Palisades and Eaton fires. So let's finish our timeline and then we have some other updates to watch.
The Sunset Fire, which crossed more than 40 acres, was fully contained, but at 3:12 p.m., Kenneth Fire started to burn 50 acres in West Hills. On January 10th, the Palisades Fire has grown to nearly 20,000 acres with 6% containment, and the Eaton Fire to nearly 14,000 acres with 0% containment. Governor Newsom calls for an independent investigation into the, quote, loss of water pressure to local fire hydrants and the reported unavailability of water supplies from the Santa Ynez Reservoir, following a Los Angeles Times report that the Pacific Palisades Reservoir had been closed for repairs at the time the destructive fire started. Firefighters across the country, as well as Canada and Mexico, arrived to help battle the flames. Local authorities vowed to find out what exactly caused what is on track to become the worst natural disaster in U.S. history based on costs.
This task force is made up of local, state, and federal partners designed to investigate the cause of these fires and to see if there's any connection between them.
As of Wednesday, January 15th, at least 25 people have died, and more than a dozen others remain unaccounted for. 4 fires are still active, with Palisades Fire covering more than 23,000 acres and 19% contained.
Look at that. Damn. Let's see. We've also got a lawsuit.
As survivors of the devastating Palisades and Eaton fires begin to rebuild their lives, the blame game has begun.
Yeah, multiple lawsuits have now been filed against utility companies here in Southern California. Reporter Nick Garcia from our sister station in Fresno now joining us live in Pacific Palisades with those details. Nick.
Well, John, Rachel, good morning. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power and Southern California Edison are the ones named in that lawsuit. Now, we've seen it all week, heartbreaking images of houses reduced to rubble like that one out here on Sunset. The people who are filing these claims say that this shouldn't have happened and they want someone to take accountability. Now, this latest lawsuit has been filed against the LADWP by a group of survivors of the Palisades Fire who claim the utility's inadequate water delivery hampered firefighters in battling the deadly fire, which has destroyed thousands of structures and killed at least 9 people. Now, a key part of the lawsuit is the Santa Ynez Reservoir, a 117 million gallon water.
No, I think what he meant was the law officers go home, but the firefighters don't.
Water storage complex that had been empty for nearly a year. Here you see that reservoir as the Palisades Fire roared around it. The LADWP put out a statement before this filing saying in part the utility, quote, was required to take the Santa Ynez Reservoir out of service to meet safe drinking water regulations. Just days ago, Governor Newsom called for an investigation into LADWP and the loss of water pressure at local fire hydrants and lack of water supplies amid the firefight. The LADWP lawsuit comes after several lawsuits were filed against SoCal Edison by people who lost their homes in the Eaton fire. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed by homeowners and renters. They allege SoCal Edison failed to de-energize all of its electrical equipment despite red flag warnings issued by the National Weather Service and believe the fire was sparked by downed power lines. The wind-driven fire destroyed an estimated 7,000 structures and has killed at least 16 people. Now, back out here live, all of these lawsuits are seeking, including this latest one against the LADWP, are seeking compensatory damages for the plaintiffs as well as punitive damages.
So the lawsuits begin. I think they should file a class action against their governor for lack of response. Here is another video as they were bracing for another round. This is also yesterday.
This county declares a public health
15 hours ago.
Now to those devastating wildfires in Southern California, and more wind advisories have hit the region, just what they don't need.
Yeah, a new danger tonight, in fact, as Los Angeles County declares a public health emergency, warning that smoke and debris could pose immediate and long-term threats.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger, live in Altadena.
So now they're covering their ass by saying long-term threats because they know that people are going to have a hard time breathing. They know that they're going to have problems with their lungs. They know that fire retardant is going to cause issues. But listen again.
Danger tonight, in fact, as Los Angeles County declares a public health emergency, warning that smoke and debris could pose immediate and long-term threats.
Eyewitness reporter Josh Einiger live at Altadena tonight, where that round, well, the clock, firefighters, is now into its second week. It's just hard to believe, Josh.
The whole thing is hard to believe, Bill. You know, there's been all this wind, this new wind storm over the last couple of days, and it's hard to show it because where we actually don't feel much more than a breeze. It's really at altitude in those mountains behind me, which happens to be where the fire is still burning. And so you may see in just a second coming into frame a helicopter. We're not going to show you because it's too high up, but there's a helicopter going by about to dump water just past that ridge back there behind me. It's a round-the-clock effort in a region that is already devastated.
The heavy air support continued all day in the hills above Altadena, back and forth, dropping water on hotspots where smoke still rises.
It was like a million fireflies coming at you of embers, besides these palm trees here would send off embers that were like meteorites. They were the size of your fist.
Last week.
Wow. He said that the embers were the size of your fist.
Glenn Samuel sent his family away and, using his own hoses, protected his house from the Eaton Fire's onslaught.
Just everyone's little, slice of heaven that they made up here. It's all gone. Just little pockets here and there. But in Altadena, everyone knows it's gone. It's just gone. And then at that one time when the wind did cease and the embers, stopped coming in like crazy, that's when I decided I could try to go across the street and fight the fire before it got to my neighbors' houses.
The firefight continued today as Wildlands firefighters urgently cut back foliage that could serve as fuel, taking treacherous hikes into the forest.
We're in this little cul-de-sac in Altadena, as close to the Angeles State Forest as you can get. You can see there are all kinds of fire trucks, tanker trucks pre-positioned, and they actually have a hose pulled here into this wooded area. And this is where a lot of those firefighters have gone to cut back brush that could possibly burn. And very carefully, we're just going to show you down this ravine. They are about 400 feet down in the base of this ravine right now, cutting back trees that could serve as fuel in case this fire sparks again.
The Eaton Fire devoured thousands of homes in Altadena. Fire Chief Paul Lowenthal is on loan from Northern California, where years ago, a wildfire destroyed his home.
A lot of us have gone through this personally, but at the same time, we want them to be able to return to their properties with it being safe and not leading to their own potential injury. If they got out of here safe, we don't want them to eventually come back to their property and have them end up getting hurt.
I'm lucky. I still have everyone in my family in my house, all my stupid possessions, which are meaningless. But
poor guy.
I just think about everybody else.
You could just think about the bravery and the fortitude in that man to fight off the fire and protect his own house and several other houses. But then when he looks at the rest of Altadena, the images we've been showing you for the past couple of days, this town is really indelibly changed. We're live in Altadena, California. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, so let's go to fire.ca.gov. Yes, there are still fires burning. So this is the website they direct us to. This will give us the latest. So we have 24,419 total emergency responses, 153 wildfires, 40,000 acres burned, 24 fatalities, and it says preliminary pending coroner confirmation. 12,300 plus structures destroyed. Damage assessments are underway for Palisades and Eaton fires. And then they have this map where you can zoom in and see the aircraft, the fires, what they're doing. Then down here it tells you the containment. So the Palisades fire is at 23,713 acres at 22% containment. The Eaton fire is at 14,117 at 55% containment. The Hearst fire is 799 at 98% containment. And the Auto fire in Ventura, which started on the 13th, is 61 acres and 85% contained. Carrie, thank you for being a member. And thank you for your support for 31 whole months. I appreciate you. So now if we go to the watch duty page, it'll give us even more. So if we go here, and scroll in, see the Hearst fire is grayed out. Eaton Fire's partially got the grayed out. 65 straight hours, 164,000 views, 1.5 thousand new subs, thousands of likes, and most important, hundreds of new friends. You all did this. Thank you. Flo, that is so nice. Aw. 65 hours. Wow. 164,000 views. Wow. 1,500 new friends. Thank you so much, Flo. You're so thoughtful. I just don't deserve you. So the Palisades is probably the most threatening. And it looks like over here, it's pretty red, right? Let's see here. Satellite view. So they just updated on the meeting we just watched. So we're not really behind anything.
This county declares a public health.
I did want to show you guys this since we have a little time before this meeting starts. Okay, so this says Mel Gibson spreads conspiracy about California fires on Fox. And this is CNN reporting on this.
Information is also spreading, just as Facebook has decided to stop fact-checking and go to community notes, I guess they're calling it. Donnie O'Sullivan takes a look at some of the misinformation that's out there right now.
California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things.
Mel Gibson on Fox News primetime after losing his home in the California fires.
And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? You know, I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Conspiracy theories spreading like wildfire.
This is an obvious land grab. They get them out of their homes this way, and then they can build whatever they want to build.
From the common refrain that it's all part of a government plot.
This is siege by design.
To suspected AI-generated video and images falsely showing the fires approaching the iconic...
Okay, that's TikTok. Remember we went on TikTok? Oh, that's X, too. That's X, too. CNN's coming in hot. Coming in hot. Good morning, Rican. Good morning, Running Bear, Mary Cat. Good to see you guys.
Hollywood sign. Fact checkers working for Meta have been debunking some of the misinformation on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, everyone.
But last week, Mark Zuckerberg announced this.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes.
Replacing fact checkers with community notes, a form of crowdsourced fact checking that is used on X. But critics say Zuckerberg shouldn't be trying to emulate X, pointing to viral misinformation on that platform that goes unchecked.
Oh, they don't like Elon. They don't like Elon, and they say that Mark Zuckerberg is following Elon.
Like this post, viewed almost 500,000 times, baselessly claiming DARPA, a wing of the Department of Defense, started the fires.
I'm here with the fire command team at the Palisades Fire.
Indeed, X's owner, Elon Musk, has spent the last week elevating conspiracy theories about the fires.
What about water availability?
Responding to a post from disgraced conspiracy theorist Alex Jones that the fires are...
Disgraced! Disgraced! This is so much propaganda right now. Let people make up their own damn minds, CNN. Wow.
The fires.
What about water availability?
Responding...
Hey, Gold Dust.
To a post from disgraced conspiracy theorist Alex Jones that the fires are part of a globalist plot, Musk responded, true.
Musk.
And Donnie O'Sullivan joins us now.
Musk trolls everybody, right? Right now, Musk is trolling Anderson Cooper, CNN, and everybody who's upset.
In a situation like this, I mean, it always happens, but it seems particularly acute right now.
Absolutely. And look, one of the big issues, particularly which we saw last year with Hurricanes Helene and Milton, and also before that the Maui wildfires, is that a lot of this misinformation makes people who need support from government agencies, whether it be local agencies or FEMA, distrust. That's something we particularly saw after the hurricanes. We're seeing less.
No, we distrust because of our experiences, dude. Mr. British, no offense, but Mr. British, we distrust our government because of past experiences. Not because of Alex Jones, not because of Elon Musk. This was going on before those two were even a thing. Let's face it. Let's face it. Our government lied to us when our president was assassinated. People don't trust. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk. Look at Anderson Cooper. I know. Oh, God. All of this information, this misinformation from the Clinton News Network.
Less of that here right now, but what we are seeing is, and of course, look, there is a political debate to be had about the policies here in California, but it has gone beyond that. We have seen the president-elect coming in with just straight up false claims about policies here. And then, of course, Elon Musk, the owner of X, as you saw in that piece, they're engaging with really wild conspiracy theories in terms of that this is a planned event. It's not. But also then really leaning into this sort of culture war stuff about DEI, diversity. And
what do you mean, Jana? Oh, man, this just ruined this channel? Why? Because I believe to let people think for themselves.
Inclusion policies and everything else like that.
Yeah, find me one person that got 100% rebuild from FEMA. Find me one person. You can't. The distrust is real. There's no more tinfoil hats. Conspiracies are not conspiracies. They came true. If that ruins life for you, I'm sorry.
It's really just a pretty toxic stew online right now. And on top of that, we're seeing changes at Meta coming soon with removing these fact checkers.
Doing yourself. Thanks very much.
Captain Eric Scott, he is the public information officer for the Los Angeles Fire Department. And Captain, it's great to have you back. Obviously, you've been joining us in these touch and go situations. I know y'all are very busy, so you're joining us on the phone tonight. We've been talking about these red flag warnings that are now in place through Wednesday evening. What is your biggest concern about that tonight?
The wind is king. It always has been, and we saw it be so devastating last week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So we've been getting breaks, and then she comes back, and it's been very difficult. So the area of major concern for the Palisades burn perimeter remains the northeast area in Mandeville Canyon. It's a lot of homes, very narrow hairpin turns that we had to proactively enact parking restrictions to keep vehicles out of areas that turn to choke points in case there's additional evacuations. But right now we got a lot of firefighters lined up there.
Why are you still bringing that up, Jana? Didn't he already go to court for that? Wasn't that already settled? Why are we bringing that up? He went to court. He paid his dues. If you don't like him, don't listen to him. But I'm all for everybody being able to listen to what they want and think what they want and make up their own minds. Not sitting here telling me, putting a bad taste in my mouth on people. I'll make up my own mind if I like people. I don't need reporters and CNN to tell me who I should trust. I'm not defending anyone. I'm saying this isn't about Alex Jones's Sandy Hook fiasco. This is about the California wildfires, right? Good morning, Amy.
Our air assets are continuing to do a wonderful job.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at live pictures right now in LA. This is from KCAL and KCBS. You're showing firefighters trying to contain a fire. I mean, you can see how close it is to a neighborhood on this map as we're looking at this. Mm-hmm. The biggest concern we've heard is new fires starting as a result of this warning, but this particularly dangerous situation warning that is so rare. If they do, are you prepared for that?
Yes, we've battled these PDS incidents in the past, particularly dangerous situations, but they are significant. We take them very seriously. So we have...
Jana, circle jerk? You do know what a circle jerk is, right? You know it's a bunch of men standing in a circle masturbating, right, Jana? Why would you even use that term? Weird. Bye, Jana. Have a good one.
A ton of resources here, over 5,000 firefighters that remain on scene, and we have over 40 helicopters that are assigned. We have a very large contingency of fixed wing, including C-130s from National Guard that's here, very large DC-10. So some of these will drop water on target hazards to protect property. Others will be more defensive and drop retardant to stop
Good morning,
the flames
robot.
at what we call the 3 R's, the roads, rivers, and ridges. So they're doing a wonderful job, and we continue to expect night operations to continue.
Are you worried that the winds could get so bad, though, that those aerial flights have to stop again, which was, of course, the issue at the beginning of these fires?
Yeah, that's more of a worst-case scenario if that to call if needed.
And as we look
See, these aren't prisoner ones here.
at this, I mean, it's really just remarkable to watch this effort and what this looks like, and just how much they are putting their lives in harm's way, trying to contain this, trying to put it out.
Imagine that being your son or husband right there. Scary. Jana, that's what this is about.
You know, we reported on Friday that the LA Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley, had met with the Mayor, Karen Bass. They had been kind of publicly contradicting, not kind of, they were publicly contradicting each other on, you know, budget cuts and if they affected the response here. Do you, when from what you've heard from with your colleagues, is the Mayor and the Fire Chief, are they on the same page now from your understanding?
You know,
don't you love this? They made the title of this video. I'm not even going to watch the rest. They made this Mel Gibson spreads conspiracy about fires on Fox. This video is almost 10 minutes long, and the only part about Mel Gibson was in the very beginning. This one little clip. This is what I call propaganda, and when I see it, I call it out. I don't care who it's from. They played this one clip from him, took the opportunity to go at Musk, who provided internet service, might I add, and played this one clip and made the whole video about it.
California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things.
Mel Gibson on Fox News Primetime after losing his home in the California fires.
And then in the events like this, you sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which is an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? You know, I don't know. Do they want the state empty?
That's it. Yeah. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So we've still got this meeting starting in 8 minutes. Just FYI. Trying to find something new. Or live, I mean. I'm not seeing anything live, but Associated Press is ready for this one voice thing. But everything out there is looping right now. Has it been like that for the past day? It's really weird. Considering that the meeting or the media is allowed.
What are the first steps for those people who might have sustained damage but haven't lost it all?
The same steps. Find out exactly what is going on. Once you get to your house, call and make a claim, and they will come out.
Once you get to your house, call and make a claim. Look at the image. These people are so out of touch, in my opinion.
A lot of these houses that are now damaged have smoke damage. So what they need to do, go in there and take the furniture out. It's called a contents, and they will be able to clean the house, clean the walls.
Oh yeah, and put a damn satellite up during the fire. You're right, Flo. But they just want to put them down. They're scared of him. They're intimidated by Elon Musk. I mean, I admit he is kind of a powerful individual. Prepper.
Back the house together.
Are they, Pandy?
Because they also have to probably clean their vent system and the AC system because the smoke and the ash is just all over the house.
All right, John Petrov, President and CEO of Action Public Adjusters, thank you for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful morning.
You too, John. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Where was that, Flo? Where was that clip? I don't remember what live that was in. That was pretty damn cool, though. Did I make a short of it? No. Oh, this happened. Let's watch this.
A home that miraculously survived the Palisades fire has been lost to a landslide, split in half due to the crumbling hillside and a massive water leak.
Ladies, it's quite remarkable that the home dodged a bullet and did not burn down, but water used to put out the flames nearby did trigger a mudslide. Take a look here. It's nothing but a muddy mess out here. There's mud everywhere. There's mud on the ground, and the debris flow coming from above, it was just so much that the entire amount came crashing down, splitting the home into two. Tonight, it's been red tagged. These are Google images of a home that survived the Palisades fire in the 17,000 block of Castellamare Drive. That is until mud debris from the hillside came crashing down, causing the structure to split in half. Sky 5 showing us an aerial view of the damage. It's unclear exactly when the home collapsed into two, but it is now one of thousands of structures that were destroyed as a result. The home was listed as a rental. We reached out to the property manager tonight, but I've yet to hear back.
A home that miraculously survived the Palisades fire has been lost to a landslide, split in half due to the crumbling hillside and a massive water leak.
Ladies, it's quite remarkable that the home dodged a bullet and did not burn down, but water used to put out the flames nearby did trigger a mudslide. Take a look here. It's nothing but a muddy mess out here. There's mud everywhere. There's mud on the ground, and the debris flow coming from above, it was just so much that the entire amount came crashing down, splitting the home into two. Tonight, it's been red tagged. These are Google images of a home that survived the Palisades fire in the 17,000 block of Castellamare Drive. That is until mud debris from the hillside came crashing down, causing the structure to split in half. Sky 5 showing us an aerial view of the damage. It's unclear exactly when the home collapsed into two, but it is now one of thousands of structures that were destroyed as a result. The home was...
Whoa. Yeah, did you like that? A massive water leak? Like what? Flo, you're looking for it? Kels, you clipped it? I don't have it. That was a pretty cool experience. I was like, what is that? Thanks, Chelsea, for being here. Yep, this is the One Voice. This says LA County recovers. LA County City One Voice press conference. Oh, we have a lineup. All right. LA County and city officials provide an update on the response to the Palisades and Eaton fires. The LA Board of Supervisors, Catherine Barger, a.k.a. Lemonhead. LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, Upside Down Cross Girl. The Mayor, Karen Bass. The Fire Chief, Anthony Maroney. The Incident Commander, Jerry Magana. The LA City Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley. The County Sheriff, Robert Luna. The City Police Department Chief, Jim McDowell. The EPA Incident Commander, Tara Fitzgerald. And the California Insurance Commissioner, Ricardo Lara. Let's see what this entails, huh? We got about 1 minute. Hold on. There we go. Welcome in, everybody. Those are your speakers this morning. This is going to be a One Voice meeting. If you guys could hit that like button before this begins, I would appreciate it. Gold Dust, I just have to say how much I love the coffee maker. I am enjoying it so much. I don't know how I lived without a frother before you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to support the stream, you can become a member of the channel. You can donate to Studio J by going to www.j4j411.live. Or you can buy a coffee or pizza, McDonald's, or Coke Zero by going to buymeacoffee.com/J is for Justice. Thank you, guys. You know I appreciate y'all. Here we go. We are live.
Press conference here at Kenny Hahn Hall of Admin. My name is Anthony Maroney, and I'm the fire chief of the County of Los Angeles Fire Department. The Eaton fire remains estimated at 14,117 acres with 55% containment. Over 7,000 structures are damaged or destroyed, and we have 3,404 firefighting personnel assigned to the incident. 60% of our damage inspections for the Eaton fire are completed. Impacted residents may continue to visit recovery.lacounty.gov to view maps showing damage assessments. Please note that these maps are being updated daily. A limited red flag warning remains in effect through 3 p.m. today for the Santa Susana Mountains, the Western San Gabriel Mountains, and the I-5 corridor. We look forward to the weather conditions returning to normal this evening. However, a moderate red flag event is predicted for this coming Monday and Tuesday. Please be assured that our firefighters continue to work 24/7 to achieve full containment of these wildfires as fast as we can. We continue to plan for the repopulation of evacuated areas when safe. The repopulation of residents in the evacuation order areas will not occur for at least one more week for the areas that are deemed safe. So when I say one more week, that does not include the entire evacuation order area. We're doing our best as we know that this is a challenge for our residents. Today, we are focused on efforts to reset department staffing to ensure our personnel get the much needed and overdue rest and recovery they require after being at work and on the line for the last 8 to 9 days straight without a break. I'm also mindful that many of our firefighters will continue to be assigned to these ongoing incidents, working side by side with fellow first responders. Yesterday, the Los Angeles County Fire Department made good progress towards partnering with a reputable 501c3 that will be able to accept cash, checks, and electronic donations for the Los Angeles County Fire Department. I ask interested donors to be patient as we finalize our donation process, and I thank you for wanting to support our brave Los Angeles County Fire Department firefighters. I would now like to introduce Jerry Magana, Deputy Incident Commander, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 2.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. Once again, Jerry Magana, Deputy Chief Incident Commander for both the Palisades and the Eaton incident. In the last 24 hours, there has been little to no fire growth. With the exception on the Palisades, we've had several interior pockets continuing to burn. Threats still exist with structures and critical infrastructure, and crews continue to strengthen fire perimeter and coordinate infrastructure repairs. USAR operations continue on both incidents and are moving quickly through the areas with minimal impact. We continue to pre-position resources, and we currently have a mobilization center in Riverside County at Beaumont that are available for any potential new starts. CAL FIRE will continue to support our partners in Unified Command, and we would like to request that you remain patient with us during this difficult time. For the most current fire information, please visit fire.ca.gov. And next, I'd like to introduce LA City Fire Chief.
Well, good morning, everyone. And due to the continued around-the-clock efforts of our firefighters, first responders, and all those that are assigned to the incident, we are very fortunate that this last wind event did not cause any expansion of the Palisades Fire. In addition, as I mentioned yesterday, the brush fire in the Lakeview Terrace area of Los Angeles was aggressively attacked and halted. We truly appreciate the community and how they've remained alert and followed all advice. Together, we are able to move forward in the recovery of these devastating fires. As we take a step back and we've made it through this wind event, I think it's really important, just briefly, we talk about the winds aren't necessarily here in the city, but with that, we still have, a large amount of unburned dry fuel with low humidity. We need to make sure that the community is thinking about how to prepare and prevent at this point, and also what we just heard is there's a potential Santa Ana winds coming on Monday and Tuesday. Now, to focus on a different area as we're coming out of these wind events for unimpacted areas of the city, just as we take a big step back. There are more extreme winds on the horizons, like I said, next week, and our community needs to remain ready. It is important that you protect yourselves and your family by planning, preparing, and staying aware. Flying embers from a wildfire can destroy homes over a mile away. Taking the necessary measures to prepare your home can help increase its chance of survival when wildland fires strike. Clear all brush within 200 feet of your home. Allow the LAFD and other first responders that fighting chance to respond quickly if a wildfire reaches your community. For more information, visit lafd.org/wildfire. I will now provide an update on the Palisades Fire. The fire is 23,713 acres with 22% containment with 5,032 personnel assigned. Using infrared mapping, air and ground resources continue to seek out hotspots and putting them out. Favorable weather conditions assisted firefighters in increasing the containment and extinguishment. Now, I know that the question of all of us up here is on the top of your minds of when we can return and you can return back to the communities. I can tell you, know that we are working as quickly as possible to do just that, to make sure that this is safe for you to return to your communities. The ongoing search and rescue mission continues to limit utility agencies' abilities to repair infrastructure. I can tell you the entire city family is working collaboratively to get you back into your homes and communities as soon and as safely as possible. I just want to give you one small example of this. Yesterday, our hazmat teams from across the state worked tirelessly for the purpose of ensuring that when the evacuation orders are lifted, our community members can rest assured that their homes have been scanned and screened and cleared of any dangerous chemicals. This will take time. So, when we ask you to remain patient, know that together we are working around the clock to get you back to your homes and to the community. With that, I would now like to introduce Sheriff Luna.
Good morning, Robert Luna, Sheriff of Los Angeles County. Personnel deployment, it remains about the same. We have about 1,300 deputies to both incidences, both at the Eaton Fire and Palisades Fire. We have about 220 California Highway Patrol officers. The governor asked that we surge more CHP officers into both areas from a looting perspective, so they've been working with our folks to do that, so I thank the governor for his support. We still have assistance from the Drug Enforcement Administration, from the Los Angeles field office. We have over 20 agents with us that are assisting us, and we still continue to have well over 900 California National Guard personnel that are assisting multiple agencies in our area, the impacted area here. Evacuation orders remain. They fluctuate between 100 here, 100 there. They go up, they go down, but under evacuation orders, about 82,400. Warnings, about the same as yesterday, 90,400. Please keep up with the information we're putting out because that could change, hopefully for the better, but we'll see what happens. The curfew is still in effect from 6 p.m. To 6 a.m. So again, you don't belong there. Please do not go there. Regarding arrest for the LA County Sheriff's area, our total is at 47. We have 36 at the Eaton incident and 11 at the Palisades incident. Palisades increased by several. Last night, 3, 36, or I'm sorry, Eaton did not increase. The arrests that we continue to see, and I want to just a point of clarification for our community members. One is I talk about curfew, which takes place from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. There is another penal code that we use during the day, because if you are not supposed to be in an evacuation order area and a law enforcement officer, deputy sheriff, CHP officer, LAPD, whoever it is, tells you to leave and you refuse to leave, you are subject to arrest during the day as well. I just want to clarify that, again, if you do not have any legitimate business, day or night, do not go. You are subject to arrest. Regarding search and rescue operations, my other partners that have come before me, I think we're making it pretty clear that there are multiple reasons why we cannot let people in yet. Yes, we're trying to work towards that. I'm going to say it's probably at least a week out. You've heard that already. Our
Imagine being told that the media can go by your house, but you can't.
Palisades area. Searches are continuing, and we still have a variety of work and structures to go through. But even as we're going through some of these grids, there are areas that we are holding because we believe there may be deceased victims there. We have to hold for the right time and the right resources to process the scene correctly. And that's going to take a little while. Please be patient with us. We know people want to get back into their neighborhoods, but we're talking about people who have passed. And that's not always a good thing to talk about. In regards to deaths, unfortunately, we did go up by 2 yesterday, one in the Eaton area and one in the Palisades area. And we continue to work with multiple partners, not only in the recovery of remains, but then ultimately the notification or identification of the deceased, and then the notification to the next of kin with our partners at the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. Regarding missing persons, there have been a total of 43 missing person reports taken in these incidences. Thank God 12 of them have been found to be safe. That's an increase of 7 more that were safely found, but that we do have 31 active missing persons reported, 24 in the Eaton area. That is an increase of 4 from yesterday, 7 in the Palisades area, which is an increase of 1 from yesterday. As I conclude, if you have any questions about updated either evacuation orders or warnings, road closures, please go to lacounty.gov/emergency. I will now introduce the Chief of Police for the Los Angeles Police Department, Jim McDonald.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning. Over the last week, the magnitude of this disaster has come into focus. I remained humbled by the scope of the destruction, but also amazed by the countless acts of kindness I've witnessed and the heroic acts undertaken by so many. We'll continue to remain committed to protecting lives and property and remain focused on keeping the public safe. As all stakeholders continue to work to make evacuation zones safe for repopulation, please know that LAPD remains on tactical alert and will continue to dedicate whatever resources are necessary to keep everyone safe. For the upcoming 24-hour period, LAPD will continue to deploy approximately 600 officers to the impacted areas, with support from the Los Angeles Airport Police, Port Police, and the National Guard, who provided approximately 600 soldiers assigned to the Palisades incident. We're very grateful for their support. Also joining our efforts, the California Highway Patrol sent additional officers to the Palisades area, and these contributions are important as they free up LAPD officers to stay focused on crime suppression and investigations. We've deployed volunteers from Team Rubicon who are answering questions at checkpoints and are easily identifiable by the gray T-shirts. I want to thank our LAPD officers and our partner agencies for their ongoing support in keeping our community safe. On the missing persons front, we continue to dedicate resources to all reports of missing persons. As of this morning, we have 38 reported missing. 30 of those have been found safe. 3 have most likely been found deceased, and 5 remain missing. We have no new fire area-related arrests or notable arrests within this last 24-hour period. If you notice anything suspicious or potentially connected to these incidents, please report it immediately. You can do so anonymously through Crime Stoppers or by calling Los Angeles Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or by visiting lacrimestoppers.org. In closing, I know that for so many, the events of the last few days have been life-altering. Please know that as we move forward, the LAPD remains committed to keeping you and our community safe as we recover.
They're really low.
I'd like to introduce now U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Incident Commander Tara Fitzgerald.
I'm going to boost this audio a bit.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Tara Fitzgerald. I'm with the United States Environmental Protection Agency. The U.S. EPA has been tasked by FEMA to conduct Phase 1 household hazardous materials removal in the burn footprints. We are beginning this work today. We have personnel on the ground in both the Eaton and Palisades footprints conducting assessments. We're working closely with state and local agencies to conduct this work. And the initial phase of household hazardous materials includes removal of the most immediate risk to public health and workers returning to work within the burn footprint. That includes things like pesticides, batteries, including the risk of damaged lithium-ion batteries, fuel, and other things that would normally go to a household hazardous waste management landfill.
Why is her voice shaking?
Again, we are working quickly to ramp up and look forward to being able to support this recovery effort. Next up is LA County Public Works Director Mark Pistrella.
Just based on my observations, her hair was very greasy.
Good morning, everyone. And again, my heart goes out to the residents of both fire areas within the city and the Altadena area. Right now, the Public Works Directors from both City of Los Angeles and myself for the County of Los Angeles are actively assessing the damage that's occurred to these fires and making provisions to create safe access for our residents and make the lots safe as well for enter. We are advising the sheriff and the chief of police from the cities about repopulation. Our part in that is to be certain that we can get a resident back in free from hazards when they enter their property. The properties have been damaged beyond belief. They are full of sediment, debris, silt, and hazardous materials. You just heard our partner from EPA who are here to help us remove and prepare the area, remove the toxics from the facilities. But what remains is a load of debris that also has to be removed from the site. So we are working on that process of debris removal in conjunction with the City of Los Angeles. We are also working with utilities, as I said, to restore power, water, and sewer to the locations, all of which have been damaged to the point that they cannot be delivered safely currently in most of the areas. Some areas, as Sheriff alluded to, may be able to return because those communities didn't suffer this much infrastructure damage. We are also, as the chief engineer of the Los Angeles County Flood Control District, we are also assessing the impact to the flood control system that serves the entire region, including both these burn areas. Both areas suffered watershed damage, burn to such a significance that we expect massive debris laden flows when it rains. Our system of flood control is designed to handle that debris along with the streets. However, in an event that we have major rain, we do expect that all of the street areas and all the communities will be impacted by debris flows that could be hazardous to human health. In order to address this, we are developing plans for both areas to capture and hold this debris back as much as we can during a rain event. I have to give everyone an early warning that we do expect the window to open for rain in the later part of this month, and so we are already pre-deploying labor forces into area to make sure that the flood control system is ready, as well as our street system is ready, again, as much as possible for that rain event. So we are coordinating utilities. We're advising both the city and the county about our readiness for people to return. That work is ongoing, and we will continue to provide updates as we make our way through the system, so that essentially you can live there safely and our first responders can serve you. That's the other thing, is we could have incidents once you get back in, and we need to have the access in place and the water in place to, take care of what may be future incidents, even structure fires. So there's lots of work to do for our public works agencies in order for us to say that these areas are ready to be restored. Lastly, on rebuilding. The rebuilding process will be streamlined. It will be organized as directed by both elected bodies.
He doesn't use that
particularly the Board of Supervisors
word.
have directed me to prepare the Altadena area as if it is a master plan community in which we are redeveloping the entire area. This master planning is already beginning. When I say master planning, what I'm talking about is preparing your properties for you to restore your homes on them. That again involves master planning all the utilities, the water system, the sewer system, and the road system. The first step in that process of development is to remove the debris from the site. As you heard from EPA, they'll take the toxics off. The county, in conjunction with the city, will be doing a debris removal process in which we will work together to safely remove the debris from an environmental perspective and from a site readiness perspective, so that your property will be ready to be rebuilt on properly and orderly. That system is already in place. We're working with the federal government and the state government to put that into place, and there'll be more information to come on that process. If you want to learn more about the rebuilding process, please go to recovery.lacounty.gov. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger and Chair of the Board. Yesterday, I visited Altamed Clinic in East Washington in Pasadena. Just overlooking Eaton Canyon, this building was one of the first lost in last week's fire. The Altamed Clinic is right next door to a skilled nursing facility, the same one that I'm sure we all watched that was evacuated because there were elderly residents and they were being wheeled down the street while embers blew past the building as it burned.
Oh, this is so effective.
Visiting with Altamed team was a stark reminder that our communities lost more than just their homes. They lost their businesses, their communities, and their access to health care. Despite the lingering destruction, Altamed is already planning to return and provide services to the neighborhood. I left my visit full of hope that not only will our residents rebuild, but the full community will return around them. This morning on Lake Avenue next to the grocery outlet, a large sign stands saying, "Altadena strong, we will rebuild." I know there's been a lot of confusion and unanswered questions about why people can't return to their properties. I want to make sure that everyone knows what goes into safely repopulating an area. It is important for all residents returning to their properties to do so safely. That is why Incident Command has been messaging precautions that need to be taken. We cannot allow residents to continually be frustrated every day without a timeline. They deserve these answers, and I am pushing the Unified Command to be swift and clear with the community. We've also installed signs across the roads leading into the impacted areas to educate residents on the risk. We will also be equipping our residents with tools to return safely, which means gloves, eye goggles, to make sure that when they are on site, they are protected. As residents repopulate the area, debris cleaning kits will be made available to give residents everything they need to safely sift through their debris and look for valuables. I'm also asking the Department of Mental Health to be on the ground with community members to assist them with the emotional load of reentering. As we consider all the components of debris removal, I wanted to briefly mention mudslides because they are always a risk after a major fire event. The county is fully committed to bracing for these additional weather forecasts. We will take all necessary steps to prepare Altadena and look out for our residents. I and our entire county are dedicated to proactively identifying and addressing the needs of our residents and keeping them safe in the process. I make you that promise. With that, I'd like to introduce LA City Mayor Karen
Here we
Bass.
go. Oh,
Thank
my
you,
dog
Supervisor.
even doesn't like
Good
it.
morning. I don't believe that we could thank our first responders enough. The firefighters, the police officers have been working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through this emergency. We have to make sure that we can continue to help them. And so I will reiterate, as I've said the last couple of days, if you're in an area where you're not supposed to be, please leave. If you're in an area that is still facing a warning, please get ready to leave now and consider leaving early. I am hoping that as the winds subside, that we can see a light at the end of the tunnel and that individuals can get their life back on track to recover and to rebuild. Yesterday, I was at the Disaster Recovery Center. It opened full-time yesterday, beginning at 9 in the morning, and over 300 families visited. I hope that people will continue to encourage and spread the word about the disaster recovery centers. There is a variety of services that you can get there. Short-term financial and housing relief for evacuees, driver's license, California IDs replaced. FEMA and SBA are there to assist businesses, and I'm extending the deadline to file city business taxes from the end of February to the end of March. Crisis intervention services are there, and while you're in the recovery center, you can see the emotional toll that this disaster has taken on people. As I spoke to people who had lost their homes or who were not sure the status of their homes, missing pets, the toll you can see mounting on them. But what was hopeful was the fact that there were services there to take care of them. There are mental health and other social services that are there. I was also encouraged that there were a number of people sitting at the city services tables who were ready to rebuild. The executive orders that were put in place are already being implemented. City departments were there. Building and Safety, Department of Water and Power are there on site. And I want to thank the incredible work of many nonprofits. Of course, the American Red Cross, Team Rubicon, Habitat for Humanity, an organization that actor Sean Penn created called CORE to help people get housed as soon as possible. And then yesterday we received an important announcement from our insurance commissioner, Ricardo Lara, that State Farm Insurance will offer renewals to affected policyholders. This is extremely important because we know in some of the affected areas, insurance companies were already pulling out. And the fact that State Farm is not going to do that, I think, is very encouraging. So the Disaster Assistance Center is located at the UCLA Research Park, which is on the corner of Pico and Overland. It's open from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m., 7 days per week. And please, please, please spread the word so that people know that those services are available. And as always, if any Angelino has any questions about assistance, recovery, or how we might move forward from this crisis, please visit lacity.gov. It's now a one-stop shop for assistance for those impacted and a place to help Angelinos find ways to get
Are they going to take questions?
And I think
That's
the
question.
involvement of Angelinos has been so impressive, people going out of their way to assist others. Yesterday, I met an optometrist who was replacing glasses for free for people who had lost their glasses who were in a shelter nearby. And we know that people are stepping up around the world to support Angelinos. LA's sister city, Busan in South Korea, pledged to donate more than $100,000 to support our recovery efforts. Japan also contributed to the Red Cross. YouTube and Google are contributing $50 million to organizations providing immediate relief in LA. The California Community Foundation's Wildlife Recovery Fund has received more than $24 million, with the first grants being distributed tomorrow. Those donations are from more than 23,000 donors. I want to make sure that people know the website, calfund.org, calfund.org. We're concerned, as has been mentioned in previous press conferences, that there's a number of sites that are fake, and we want to make sure that people give to the correct site, calfund.org.
Why is she saying
the kindness,
fun?
Generosity, and the spirit of the community that I have seen from so many Angelinos over the last few days really does confirm that we are going to rebuild, and we will rebuild and restore and build even better our city of Los Angeles. Los Angeles strong, we are one city, we stand here united. Thank you, and let me introduce Supervisor Lindsay Horvath.
Bitch on wheels.
Thank you, Mayor. As you've heard, the red flag warning is no longer in effect. You can expect cooler temperatures and higher humidities, though next week we do anticipate Santa Ana winds returning. Continue to check emergency.lacounty.gov for the latest updates and resources on emergency conditions. With regard to county services and school updates, for FEMA assistance, you have until March 10th to apply for individual FEMA assistance and 18 months to complete the paperwork. Please apply ASAP so you are in their system and you have that 18-month window to work with them to receive all of the benefits that you not only need in this time, but you deserve. Disaster Recovery Center at UCLA Research Park West continues to be open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. I, too, visited yesterday and saw the myriad of resources that are there. If you have questions about your property tax assessment, the county assessor is on site. If you need assistance filling your prescriptions, Department of Public Health is on site. If you'd like support speaking with your children about this disaster, Department of Mental Health is on site. There are a variety of resources there to help you. The FEMA staff on site said they had never seen such a robust resource center stood up with a variety of resources all available to you. Please come. There are many people there who want to help and support you. LA County Public Works and Planning will help with rebuilding. LA Public Health and Mental Health are with their supportive services are on hand as well. Our 3rd District team is there every day to assist those impacted by the Palisades and other wildfires in the district. And there remain 7 LAUSD schools that are in evacuation zones. Topanga Elementary students should go to Woodland Hills Academy, Canyon Charter Elementary students to Brockton Elementary, Kenter Canyon Elementary students to Emerson Middle School, Lanai Road Elementary students to Portola Middle School, Roscomari Road Elementary students to Warner Elementary, Community Charter Magnet students to Westwood Elementary, and Paul Revere Middle School students to University High School Charter.
What a mess.
For animal support, please call our Department of Animal Care and Control at 562-940-6898 to help with pet reunification. This is on the county areas. Our DACC staff and mutual aid partners have successfully evacuated over 100 animals to the Agora Animal Care Center. I was there yesterday and got to see many of the evacuated animals, including beautiful tortoises from the Topanga area. There's Ethel, the house chicken, and so many others. We are so grateful to those who are supporting our animal companions. It gives people peace of mind to be able to leave their homes and know that their beloved animals are being cared for in this very difficult time. LA County Parks are hosting care camps for young people impacted by the fires. You can go to parks.lacounty.gov/care camps to register and for more information. And for all recovery information in the county, please go to recovery.lacounty.gov. Price gouging continues to be an issue that is top of mind and a painful experience for those who are seeking to recover in this difficult time. DCBA, our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, has a price gouging task force that includes our LA District Attorney, County Council's Consumer Protection Division, LA City Attorney, and Santa Monica City Attorney. I spoke again with our California Attorney General, who is here in Los Angeles today, and he is pursuing vigorous investigations which have already begun. Reporting, price gouging, and other predatory practices can be done at oag.ca.gov/report, or you can call LA County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs at 800-593-8222. I want to echo my gratitude to the first responders who have stepped up in the most dangerous of conditions, thanking all of our local, state, and federal partners who have joined with us. Yesterday, we joined with Speaker Rivas, our state assembly member, Jackie Irwin, and other local elected officials in the Santa Monica Mountains and Canoga Valley region. And we have heard how they are going to be using the special session to focus specifically not only on the dollars and cents that will be invested in Los Angeles County, but also how they will be specifically using services and the full weight of the California government to support those on the ground. Thank you to everyone who has been working with us to keep each other safe, to keep each other supported and cared for in this difficult time. We appreciate all of your help.
Helen Chavez Garcia, Communication Director for Chair Catherine Barger. We thank the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman, for being here today and showing his support. We will now transition to the question and answer portion of this press conference. I want to announce this is the last press conference that we will be hosting on a daily basis as a one-voice effort. We will transition to press conferences on an as-needed basis to show a unified voice. With that being said, please raise your hands, announce your name and the media outlet you are with, and a microphone will be brought to you. We're going to start over here on the lower left.
Hi, Grace Tui, Los Angeles Times. We had heard about a landslide or a hillside collapse in the Palisades Fire area and was hoping to get some details about that incident, what might have caused it, and if we're concerned that that might be an issue moving forward in either of the fires, obviously before rains even come. I know you guys were talking about rains.
Thank you for your question. Mark Mistrella, Director of Public Works, LA County. In a joint effort, the City of Los Angeles and the County of Los Angeles, including the LA County Flood Control District, has been assessing the watershed areas, including geology, soils, and water conditions in both watersheds that have been burned. The area that you're talking about, the Palisades, is suffering right now. What you'll see on the slopes, you'll see what we call dry ravel, which is these slopes that are oversteepened have been really dried out, and you will see this raveling of the slopes and what looks like a landslide, and it is a landslide, debris into the streets and into properties. Some of this material is supporting some of the structures that have remained behind. There has been inundation to some extent of water into the system. You can imagine the amount of water that was placed in the firefighting effort. There were also gas lines and water lines that were destroyed in the system. I can speak for our LA County waterworks system in the Malibu area, where we have assessed our system and got all of those, cut water off where we didn't need it leaking all over the street. We did that for two reasons. One is because we wanted to maintain a water pressure in the system and not lose it to properties, but also in anticipation that it could grease the wheel of landslides. One of the other areas that residents may be noticing is the Topanga, the lower Topanga area. We're having a significant amount of this dry ravel condition in that area as well. We're working in consultation and side by side with Caltrans to maintain those slopes so that we can continue to have access into the area. So a warning to all the residents, no matter where you live in LA County, if you have slopes behind your homes, or if you're located on the top of a slope, these slopes have become fragile. The soil that is supporting your home have all become fragile and damaged, if you will, due to the events that we've had, wind included. There are mud and debris, as Supervisor Barger said, debris flow hazards that are existing even when it's not raining. So we want people to be very careful. If a resident is noticing any of these conditions in and around their property, in the fire area or outside of it, please contact 211, and we will send a team of geologists and soils engineers and flood control engineers to take a look at your property and make an assessment as to what you might do on your property to safeguard your property.
And we'll go right here in the middle. Microphone, please.
Jorge Macias, La Opinión newspaper. As everybody knows, many people living in Altadena, they were renting and they lost everything too. Many of them were not owners of their house. So what specific help by the city, the county, or the state are for those people who were renting or who were undocumented? And the second question is about the cleaning up. Can you please tell us about
I have a question.
what kind
Why
of
is the
help
podium not centered to show everyone on the stage?
dangers are for people if they start the cleanup by themselves and moving debris, as you mentioned today?
So I think on the first one, what I will tell you is that we recognize that there are many people that were not owners of the homes that were destroyed. And that's why it's important to go to these centers that have been set up both in the west side, but also Pasadena City College on Foothill Boulevard, to get more information about the resources available to help them relocate, because we're cognizant of the fact that we're not just targeting homeowners, but also those that have lost a rental piece of property where they were renting. And so, we're constantly moving forward, recognizing that it's not a one-size-fits-all. And so, again, these centers, as the mayor said and my colleague, Supervisor Horvath, have everything under one roof. I've been out there, and I've been so impressed with the fact that you can get, documents, information about rentals, across the board. So I would encourage people to go and access all that information. And then I'm going to let Mark Pestrella answer the second part.
Supervisor, I have Dr. Davis answer the health question.
Come on. Go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Manju Davis, Los Angeles County Health Officer with the Department of Public Health. It's a great question that you ask. We talk about getting folks and cleaning up before people get back, but we recognize that there may be a point where people do get back.
Totally
but
crazy,
understand
Lucid.
that as you think about fire-damaged areas and everything that was in that, there will still be some hazards. There's asbestos, there's heavy metals, and other chemicals that would need to be taken care of. And so as people go back into these areas, we really want them to take precautions. So wear closed-toe, sturdy shoes. Keep keep an N95 mask or a P100 mask on in order to not breathe in any of this dirt, soot, and contaminated ash that's in that area as you move around.
Oh, Melissa.
Just consider it as if you're walking into a dirty room with light dust. Each time you move around, each time you move something, it sort of stirs that up, and there's some risk related to that. So even wearing goggles as you do that,
we know about
is
dust.
important
We
to
know when you walk in it.
And as you're coming out of that
does
area, try to dust yourself off. Use baby wipes to clean that off, so you don't take that into your car or wherever you're staying. But there are those risks that are still there, which is why this debris removal process.
Debris is going to be everywhere.
Take out those visible hazardous household materials that may be there. then think about how that cleanup is going to happen in terms of the fire debris, the burned structures, the materials that were there, the foundations. All of that must happen in an organized way.
They tell us everything
so there has
that's
been an
common
order released
sense.
in order to specify that unsafe removal of fire debris should not happen, and to specify that must have the hazardous materials removed first, and then debris removal program will be put in place.
Me too, classic
If you
one.
choose to do it on your own, you must follow certain steps and get approval prior to that happening. So those are some of the risks, but we know that as people go back, we do want them to wear those N95, wear sturdy shoes, long sleeves, long pants, and wear some goggles if needed as you go through and assess your property.
Thank you. We're going to go over here in the front.
Sorry. Josh Haskell, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. First of all, on repopulation, since we don't have an exact date yet, we know that it's going to take time, especially for those dangerous areas. We're getting a lot of questions about people that they don't necessarily want to go back and stay or spend a lot of time there. They want 15 minutes. They want to get that medication, take a look at their property, have eyes on their property. We know that there were escorts, then there weren't escorts. What is the current status of that? How do people get in contact to get a particular escort to their property? Who can they reach out to? And also some of the questions that we're getting from viewers, I just want to ask one. It's about water quality. If you don't live in the fire zone, what is the state of your water? Has ash gotten into the entire water supply?
Of course it has.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I'm going to answer as a member of a unified command team, because when you talk about water quality, we're talking about public health. When you're talking about hazardous materials, we're talking about Fed EPA. You know, we have three types of structures that are in the burn area, the evacuation area. We have structures that are unaffected, we have structures that are damaged, that are still standing, and we have structures that are destroyed. It's just the foundation. So we want to make sure.
Why is the mayor always hiding?
Some of the things that we do to allow people to enter the area to see those three types of structures, because there won't be any medications left at homes that are completely destroyed and that are a foundation. And I think that the county's talked about how you can get prescriptions filled immediately through public health at the recovery centers, if you visit the recovery centers. So what we're trying to do is render the area safe.
Yeah, that's what they're
does
called.
that mean?
That's what they're called.
The fire is out. The fire department has taken care of that danger.
The fire's
right
out, you
now,
said.
utilities are making sure that there's no danger for people in the area of electrocution or natural gas explosion.
Why is he being so condescending?
So they're shutting off the natural gas. They're cutting the electrical lines so there's nothing that you can touch and get electrocuted if it was re-energized by accident. And we're removing the health danger by getting the household hazardous materials out so you can come into the area safely. That doesn't mean you can stay there, but it means the area is safe. You cannot get electrocuted. We won't have a natural gas explosion. The fire's been extinguished, and we've removed the hazardous materials that will be dangerous to your health. And that's the job of the EPA. That's what will allow people to come back for 15 minutes, or possibly people to come back to a home that's undamaged and reoccupy it. But for the ones who want to see their home that's been destroyed just for some personal closure, we still have to do those core, the core actions that I just described. The last thing we want as public safety and the county and city leadership, we don't want people going back to an area and getting injured.
Hi, Auntie Cheryl.
But we're doing it just as quickly as possible.
He looks
because
mad.
we know that there's a lot of conversation about when can I come back. They want a date. We don't have a date, but we're trying to render the area safe.
But Tony, if your house is still standing and repopulation doesn't happen for a week or two, will you have a chance to go back for 15 minutes? And do we know when? Escorts?
Yeah, you know that Police Chief McDonald talked about that, and they tried to get people up into the area, and it became they couldn't do it because it was untenable. There were so many cars. It took so many officers to let you come in for 15 minutes. But if you need eyeglasses, if you need medications, if you need insurance documents, please go to those community recovery centers, because we have people there that can get you all of those things you need for your subsistence for the next week. But we just don't want anybody to come in and for it to not be safe. But I want to allow people to reoccupy homes that were not destroyed or damaged. That is our priority. Thank you.
You asked about water quality, and so what I would have residents do anywhere in LA County is go to Water for LA, spelled out, water, WATERFORLA, look up who your water agency
Hey, Melanie.
is. Because we have over 200 water retailers in LA County, so there's specific conditions depending on which water retailer you have. Or you can look at your utility bill and see who serves you water. Go to the website or call the number for your local water agency. They will have it posted specifically whether or not your water for your house is clean for drinking, bathing, or any of those things you asked about.
Sheriff Luna, you spoke about recovery of human remains in the area. I'm wondering if you're able to tell us specifically how many of these locations you potentially have to search for today.
I'm going to answer that, a variety of them. You're looking for specific numbers. When I drove through there last night, I know our deputies were holding several locations where we are waiting for the appropriate resources to come in and unfortunately recover remains. Back to the previous question, there are areas that we've gone through where we are about 85% sure that we have looked through the best that we can. You got to understand, if you haven't been out there, it literally looks like a bomb dropped. There is things everywhere, and we're trying, our people along with all of our partners are doing the best job that they possibly can, but there are areas right now that we have to hold people away from so our people can do their job appropriately. Because remember this, I'm very empathetic to anyone who wants to get back to their property. But I'm also very empathetic to people who have missing people that they're waiting to find out if they're deceased. Those are the kind of tragedies or the significance of what we're dealing with. So we have a lot of work to do.
Thank you so much,
And that's
Flo,
why
for
my
your
partners
Cash
up
App.
here are saying,
Thank you.
everyone wants to hear a date, and we want to give a date, but we need to make sure we're doing the work appropriately for all the right reasons. And it's going to be a while. It's not going to be in 3 or 4 days. I'm going to say at minimum, at least another week, and that's an estimate, but I believe it's going to be longer than that.
The middle.
Hi, this is Kate Cagle from Spectrum News 1. I have 2 questions. One is that we've spoken to some residents in the Altadena area saying that their insurance company is asking them for photos of the damage. So what is your advice to them as far as the fact that they can't get back and get them? And then I also had a question for Mayor Bass. I wonder if you've spoken to other mayors who've dealt with similar disasters like Lahaina or Paradise and what advice they gave you for getting through just the next year when people are so destabilized.
Kevin McGowan, Director with the Office of Emergency Management. For people who want access to photos for damaged and destroyed buildings, they can go to recovery.lacounty.gov. We are posting the damage inspection maps. When you click on the icon, it will show you a picture and it will give you a percentage of the damage. So again, go to recovery.lacounty.gov.
Thank you for the question. Yes, I have heard from many, many mayors. Mayors who go through this on a regular basis, especially those that are in the South. And their number one advice to me was to stay focused.
What mayor in the South
to not get
talked to you?
distracted. For all of the reviews
What
and
mayors?
analysis of what happened,
Tell us.
what, when, and where, to make sure that you stay focused on saving lives, protecting people, and doing
you're a
that
liar.
after the immediate crisis is over. Thank you.
I want to know what
Not
Southern
that you asked, but I'm
mayor
gonna tell you
talked to
that
her.
I've actually talked to county supervisors, Napa, who went through the exact same thing, who is giving me incredible advice, and I'm going to be looking at the way they went about rebuilding and get lessons learned. So James Gore, who is Sonoma actually, has been very helpful, and I know Other
Speak up,
supervisors who
lady. Be a little
face
more
similar,
confident.
Situations.
I got to turn
have
you
also
up
reached
because you're
out.
not confident.
Thank you.
in what
Last
you're
question,
saying.
then we'll move to one-on-ones right over here.
Come on, for Mayor Bass.
Hi, Ross Palumbo from CBS News and KCAL News. My first question is really for Chief Crowley.
Darn it.
I wanted to ask you about the first responders. We're more than a week into this now. The conditions out there have been so difficult for so many of our firefighters and first responders. How are they holding up? And what are they telling you? And what can you and the public really do to help them at this point?
Thank you so much for that question. That means a lot to all of us that have responded to this incident. And we also feel right there with the communities in step. Our first responders, from that very moment when they were called to duty, did their jobs. I've had the opportunity to spend some significant time with our firefighters who are on the line. We visited the local fire stations, we visited the command post. Our firefighters are doing an incredible job, and they have so many feelings just like the community does. I tell you, our firefighters, first responders, everybody that's involved with this, the amount of love and outpour and support from across the world, all the way down to the absolute community members that were negatively impacted and really heavily impacted by this, they feel that love and support. Specifically to our 20 engines that are still actively engaged in Palisades, they've been there since day one. Spoken to a number of them as well, and they are working hard. They're going to continue to focus on our mission with everybody else here. And in the end, I tell you, I've said it multiple times, I'm going to continue to say it, that as their chief, I'm extremely proud of the work that our people did and continue to do and will continue to do well into the future in the many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of our press conference. For one-on-one requests, please approach the front. Spanish, if you want a Spanish interview, please assemble over here. To my right, we will do a press gaggle. We have 2 Spanish representatives from each of the different...
Okay. Wow. Quite the update, huh? I want to thank Kels and Flo for pulling this clip. I know both of you were on it. And thanks again, Flo, for your Cash App. That was really sweet. Thank you so much. This is going to be a flashback replay from our lives. I want to thank everyone who joined me. The fires are out, guys. But I met a lot of really awesome people. Let me come on camera. I want to look at y'all. I don't know if you want to look at me, but I want to look at y'all. I met so many awesome people during the wildfires. It's such a horrible event, but one that is a historical event. And I hope that you guys will continue to watch me if you found me during the California fires, because we do cover things like this that are important. It's not just true crime stories. We don't do that here. We do live breaking news. We cover missing people. We cover ongoing trials and cases as they unfold. We deep dive. And if you're not subscribed to my other channel, please consider subscribing. We go deeper over there. We talk about the BS and misinformation in the community. We are about the truth. And my moderators are top notch. Top notch. I couldn't ask for better moderators. A lot of them have been with me for a very long time. So the proof is in the pudding, folks. We have fun here, but we also deliver the truth. And like Flo said, 65 straight hours, 164,000 views, 1,500 new subs, thousands of likes, and most importantly, hundreds of new friends. So I hope that you will continue to watch me. Put me in your subscription list. I would appreciate it. And I'm grateful for everything. If you could hit the like button, it's a free way to support. That's all I ask for. And let's revisit when Elon Musk owned California.
Philadelphia Division, go ahead.
This was pretty funny. Here we go. Oh, look. Oh. It was loud as fuck, Jay. Hold on. Hold on. I turned it down. You're okay now? The fuck is that? Elon Musk doesn't take off Starlink from California. Fuck, I gotta turn that down. Hold on. Let me go back. That was way too loud. I apologize. I'm always
Go ahead.
too loud. Getting crazy with the volume. Oh, look. Were you here? Yay, Jason! Thank you, Jason. The fuck is that? Elon Musk doesn't take off Starlink from California, does
The
he?
rest are going to come down here to catch the other side of the flank.
Right, Lucid? What the hell's going on here? What is that? Y'all, hold me. What is this?
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. Till we get
Hi, Cricket.
control of it.
What the fuck? I thought Starlink satellites flew up from Texas and Florida. Oh, he just a rocket just went off. Jesus Christ. I literally can't. We got the helicopter. This is pretty freaking cool, though. Look at that. The helicopter, like, switched its view, and it was like Elon. That was really random. I was like, what? It's SpaceX. Yeah, remember I just said he was getting ready to launch? Look at separation right there. Forgot. We got to go back though, and show when the helicopter guy turned his camera, right? For context, watch.
Make your way back.
Watch.
You've been released. Thank you.
This is how it started. We were watching this serious fire.
Incident. 98th intersection of Foothill Pack.
And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh, is he going to go refuel? What's he doing, right?
Metro from Crew 3. Hey, can you go ahead and attach to that brush fire?
I thought he was going to refuel. Then all of a sudden he flips the camera. I'm like, what's that? Look.
Crew 3, Alpha, you've been added to the brush incident.
Watch.
98th intersection of Foothill.
No one else showed this? Oh, I need to make a video on it. We just happened to catch it. It was awesome. Like, yeah, he's going to refuel. Okay, let me tell you guys really quick. So they are dropping down. They've been dropping down this red fire retardant stuff, and it's supposed to keep the ground moist. And then they come back around with water on top of the fire retardant stuff. So there's the super scoopers were going over the ocean, and they have like a scoop on the bottom of them. They're a plane, and they go over the ocean.
Smarty
They
pants.
skim the top of the ocean. They scoop up like 1,600 gallons of water, and then they move their way. And they dive down into the ocean, grab the water, and keep going. We saw like a really cool video of it earlier. A really cool video we're about to see.
Oh, Heather,
I'm waiting to see what this helicopter's doing before I get up to take a shower.
Thank you,
No,
Heather.
they're not big. They're not big military planes. We actually had some from Quebec that came in. It was pretty cool. Wop, 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 wop. Sarah, Sarah.
Thank you so much,
I don't know if
Heather.
we're losing our helicopter, if he's going to refuel or what. Kind of looks that way.
Yeah, copy. I see the hydrant in the gate.
I know, right, Miss Robin?
Let me know what engine company you see first. I will direct them.
Cricket. Yes, the fires are out, Cricket.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
I remember I was going to take a shower, and oh, here we go, right here. I was like, oh, look. Oh, look. The fuck is that? Elon Musk doesn't take off Starlink from California, does he?
The rest are going to come down here to catch the other side of the flank.
Hell's going on here? What is that? Y'all, hold me. What is this?
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. Till we get some control of it.
The fuck? Look, Lucid says it's a rocket ship. People are going, what's this? What's this? What the fuck? Well, I thought Starlink satellites flew up from Texas and Florida. I forgot he took off from California. Oh, he just mine crime. Hey, rocket just went off. Jesus Christ. I literally can't. We got the helicopter. This is pretty freaking cool, though. Look at that. You should talk to yourself like the helicopter pilot. That was really random. I was like, what? It's SpaceX. Yeah, remember I just said he was getting ready to launch?
Did I act like a
Look
smarty
at
pants?
separation right there.
Then I'm like, oh, look, separation. Like I'm a
Smarty pants, damn it. You guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to more streams in our future. We will be live tomorrow. Going over Lalani Simon's jail calls. It should be interesting. Hopefully I'll see you guys then. No, that was Lucy. That was a few days ago. That was like 6 days ago. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to roll our credits. Thank you guys so much for everything. I really do appreciate you. Enjoy your Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.